All right, you ready for this? You sent us a real doozy of a film synopsis to dive into. The Box. Talk about a thriller with a serious moral punch.
Yeah, just the premise alone is a total grabber. You've got this mysterious box, a button you can push, $1 million, just like that.
Easy money, right?
Well, there's a catch. Someone you don't know dies.
Talk about high stakes. It's like, what would you do? It really makes you think. I mean, it's that classic trolley problem, but amped up to 11.
Right. It's not hypothetical anymore. It's someone's life on the line.
Exactly. So, who are the poor souls in this pressure cooker?
Well, we've got Norma and Arthur, this seemingly regular couple. Norma's a teacher, and Arthur works for NASA, right? But here's the thing. We learned he was recently passed over for a space mission.
Oh, why's that?
Failed a psychological evaluation. That's a good flag right there. Makes you wonder, is he going to crack under pressure?
Ooh, that's a good point. Sets the stage for some real tension there.
For sure. And then enter the mysterious Mr. Stewart. This guy, he's the one with the offer, the box, the whole deal. And let's be real, that half-burned face does not inspire trust.
Oh, absolutely not. Creepy right off the bat. You know something's not right.
Like a walking warning sign, you know? Like the movie's telling you straight up, this choice, it comes with some baggage.
Definitely. And speaking of consequences, the film doesn't shy away from showing us what's at stake. We actually see the potential victim.
Right, even before Norma makes her decision.
Like, bam, here's the face, the life that's hanging in the balance.
It forces you to think about the human cost, you know? It's not just an idea, it's a real person.
It's like the film is asking, would you still push that button if you knew who you were hurting?
Exactly. And Arthur, he's totally against it from the start. No way, no how.
Good for him, right?
But Norma, she's struggling. She's tempted by what that money could do, especially when she finds out she's getting a pay cut at school.
Ah, there's the hook. Money problems, always a recipe for tough choices.
Right. Suddenly, it's not just theoretical anymore. It's about bills. It's about survival. Would any of us be so quick to judge?
I know I'd be tempted. It's like the film is holding up a mirror to all of us. How far would we go?
Right. For our family, for a better life, and against Arthur's better judgment, Norma caves. She pushes the button.
Oh, the man, she pushed it. That's a game changer.
Things spiral pretty quickly after that. The money shows up. But Arthur, he's consumed by guilt. Tries to give it back.
But Mr. Stewart's vanished, right?
Poof, gone. And then, at a party at Norma's dad's house, things get real weird real fast.
Hold on. Before we get to the party, they show us the victim's family finding her body. And guess who's the detective on the scene?
No way, tell me it's...
Norma's dad. Talk about adding fuel to the fire.
Whoa, that's messed up. It's like they're being directly confronted with the fallout, no escaping it.
Right, it's not just guilt in their heads anymore, it's real-world consequences. And then, that party at her dad's, it's like that creepy vibe from Mr. Stewart and followed them there.
Yeah, like a bad omen.
They see the box among the gifts, people acting strange. Both of them start feeling dizzy, disoriented, almost like they've been poisoned.
Ooh, that's unsettling. Could it be psychosomatic, you think? Because of that psychological evaluation Arthur failed? Maybe this is all in his head.
No, that's a creepy thought. And then there's Norma's student working at the party. That girl keeps staring at Arthur, pointing at him like she knows something.
And while all this is going on, don't forget, Arthur slips Norma's dad Mr. Stewart's car registration number.
Yeah, he's scrambling for answers, trying to figure out what they've got themselves into.
Totally. And Norma, she starts noticing other people are having the same symptoms. Dizziness, nosebleeds, like it's spreading.
Contagious, almost, like the consequences are rippling outward.
Right. Makes you think, are we only responsible for our actions or for the ripple effects too?
That's a question that hangs over this whole film, and it's about to get even weirder. So we've got this sense of dread building, like something much bigger's going on. And Norma's starting to put the pieces together. Remember that picture she found at her office? The yearbook, Mr. Stewart, what was he doing there?
Yeah, that's the clue that kicks off her search for answers. She asks her dad to help track down Mr. Stewart. But instead of an address, they find out the car is registered to, get this, a government agency.
A government agency. Whoa, now we're talking conspiracy theories. We had a whiff of that earlier, but this really confirms it. What are they involved in?
Right. It gets deeper. And while Norma's on that trail, Arthur makes a chilling discovery. He finds a newspaper clipping at the murder scene, mentions the victim was killed at 4:45 p.m.
Hold on, 4.45, that's...
The exact time Norma pushed the button.
Okay, no coincidence then. There's a direct link. But how? What's the mechanism?
The film keeps us guessing, but then throws another curveball. Remember that woman from the party, the one who gave Norma that cryptic message?
The one who told her not to worry? Yeah, she was kind of creepy.
Well, she pops up again, gives Norma another clue, points her to a specific library, and mentions something about how everyone being tested is a couple with a child.
So it's not random victims. There's a system, a selection process, like someone's watching, choosing them specifically for this. I think this library holds the key.
Seems like it. Both Norma and Arthur end up there, drawn by different clues but ending up at the same bookshelf. You can feel the tension building as they get closer to the truth about Mr. Stewart.
And what they find is totally mind-blowing. Arthur discovers a newspaper clipping about the Mars mission, but what really catches his eye is a photo of Mr. Stewart before the accident. No burns, totally normal.
And at the same time, Norma finds an audio recording of Mr. Stewart's voice. Also, pre-accident, clear, undamaged, like listening to a ghost.
It's like they're putting together a puzzle, but each piece just makes the mystery deeper. And the truth, when it comes out, is stranger than fiction. Turns out, Mr. Stewart was struck by lightning during the Mars mission. Dead, they said.
But then, in a twist straight out of sci-fi, he's revived in the morgue. Turns healed, somehow. And he seems to have these abilities beyond normal. A resurrection with the dark side.
Whoa, so we've gone from a moral dilemma to full-blown supernatural mystery. But what's the point? What's Mr. Stewart's game here?
Well, as Norma's listening to this recording, she's suddenly pulled upwards, like by an unseen force. She finds herself face-to-face with Mr. Stewart. He touches her, and then blackout. It's so unsettling, like a nightmare.
What a cliffhanger. And while Norma's going through that, Arthur has his own run-in with the strange. Leaving the library, everyone's staring at him, and then bam, Mr. Stewart's wife appears.
She confronts Arthur, wants to know what he's after. He's desperate for answers, trying to make sense of this whole thing.
And then she does something totally unexpected. Shows him these 3 swirling pools of water, like portals to another dimension, tells him to choose one. It's like Alice in Wonderland, but way freakier.
It's a huge moment. His choice determines everything. He remembers a clue from the party, those numbers the student kept pointing to. Chooses the second portal. The water pulls him in. He's gone.
And back at Mr. Stewart's place, Norma wakes up on a bed, sees the same portal, reaches out, touches it, and suddenly, Arthur falls onto the bed beside her. What just happened? It's like they've been translated.
The film doesn't explain the how, but it's clear these portals are tied to Stewart's powers. He can manipulate space, time, pulling people around like chess pieces.
So, resurrected astronaut with superpowers, a mysterious box, and deadly consequences. It's a game, but who's playing? What are the rules? The film finally starts giving us some answers when they show these 2 NASA officials discussing Mr. Stewart. They reveal the government knows about his resurrection, about what he's doing.
That government connection we suspected. Full circle. But why are they letting this happen? Why haven't they stopped him?
$1,000,000 question, right? And the answer is way more disturbing than we could have guessed. Turns out, Stewart's running these tests using the boxes, the money, to gauge humanity's greed.
Measuring how willing we are to sacrifice others for our own gain. A twisted social experiment to expose our dark side.
And he's not just observing, is he? He's manipulating things, pushing people to their breaking point.
Absolutely. Choosing couples with children, offering them this tempting but morally compromised choice, and then orchestrating events to see how they react. Like a puppet master pulling the strings.
Scary thought, right? Our lives, our choices, manipulated by some unseen force.
Makes you wonder, if someone was watching, evaluating our every move, what would they conclude about us? Would we pass the test?
That question hangs over the whole film. Even when faced with these impossible choices, we're being judged, measured.
And for Norma and Arthur, it's far from over. Mr. Stewart's still in control, and things are about to get even more intense.
So Norma and Arthur are back together, but their situation is beyond messed up. Their son's been kidnapped, and Stewart's calling all the shots. It's a nightmare, and they're trapped in it.
And it gets even worse. The guy who killed the woman, the one from the beginning, he reveals he was forced to do it. Stewart was holding his daughter hostage, using those powers to control him.
It's like Stewart's weaving this web of manipulation, turning people into puppets. He's not just testing them, he's breaking them.
Yeah, forcing them to do things they'd never normally do. And this kidnapper, he mentions another detail. Stewart's been using this special pool, another portal, to transport people somewhere else. Not specific, but it sounds like another dimension, something beyond our world.
So he's not just deciding who lives or dies, he's controlling where they go. That's terrifying. What happens with Arthur? Does he find his son?
As the kidnapper's driving Arthur to this hotel, to the pool, there's a crash. Kidnapper's killed, and Arthur's taken to NASA headquarters by military personnel.
Okay, so someone's stepping in trying to stop Stewart, but who and why now?
At NASA, Arthur's reunited with Norma. Both of them are frantic, desperate to find their son. And then Stewart appears, the puppet master himself.
The final showdown, it's all come down to this. What does he want? Why put them through all this?
He says he was hoping Norma wouldn't push the button, that she would choose differently. But she didn't. And now he has to move on to the next phase of his plan. He tells them their son is in the bathroom, can't see, can't hear. And then he turns to Arthur, offers him a deal, a horrific one.
I can't even imagine. What does he say?
He tells Arthur the only way to save their son, to bring back his senses, is for Arthur to kill Norma.
Kill her? Oh my God, that's the ultimate test. Kill your wife to save your son, or live with the consequences of your choice, knowing your greed led to this. How could anyone make that decision?
That's what makes this film so powerful. It forces you to confront those dark questions, the potential for good and evil inside all of us.
So what happens? Does Arthur give in? Does he make the deal?
It's heartbreaking. Norma realizes the weight of her choice, the damage it's caused. She can't bear the thought of her son suffering because of her, so she urges Arthur to do it, to kill her.
It's a sacrifice out of love and guilt, a mother trying to protect her child, even if it means giving up her own life.
And Arthur, driven by love for his son and the weight of their choices, he does the unthinkable. He shoots Norma.
It's a tragedy, through and through. A life lost, a family destroyed, all because of one decision.
And as they're arresting Arthur, we see another couple that push the red button and their faces lit up by that eerie glow from the box. Stuart's game goes on, the cycle starts again.
It's chilling, right? Even after witnessing those consequences, greed wins out. The desire for more, it just keeps driving people.
And the film ends with Stuart putting the box on another family's doorstep, like a promise that this will never end. The testing, the pushing, the probing of our limits, it just goes on and on.
The box, man. It doesn't give you easy answers, does it? It leaves you with more questions than you started with. Makes you think about your own values, the choices you'd make under pressure. Would we be strong enough to resist? Or would we cave to that temptation even if it meant sacrificing our morals, the lives of others?
It's a psychological thriller, but it's so much more than that. It sticks with you, makes you think about the choices we make, even the small ones, and how they can have huge consequences. It asks, what do we really value? What lines are we willing to cross? And what price are we willing to pay?
It makes you think, makes you question, makes you look inside yourself and confront that darkness we all have.
And on that note, we wrap up our deep dive into The Box.
Thanks for sticking with us on this one, folks. Hope it was insightful, thought-provoking, maybe even a little terrifying.
Remember, the next time you're facing a choice, think about the ripple effects, the consequences, intended or not, that might come from your actions. Because in this game, there's always a price to pay. And sometimes that price is higher than we can imagine.